The night was alive with noise, car horns, laughter, and the dull hum of the city that never slept. Under the flickering glow of a streetlight stood Amara, a young woman with tired eyes and makeup too heavy to hide the sadness beneath. Her short red dress drew attention, but her gaze was empty. She smiled when men looked her way, but every smile felt like a lie she had to tell to survive. When she saw couples holding hands and laughing as they passed, something deep in her chest ached, a longing for a love she'd never known. Greater than, "I sold my body," she would later say. But what I truly wanted was peace. When the night ended, Amara returned to her small, broken apartment. The room smelled of cheap perfume and loneliness. She dropped her purse on the floor and stared into a cracked mirror. Her reflection stared back, tired, hollow, and ashamed. She wiped off her makeup, layer by layer, until all that remained was the girl she could barely recognize. Tears welled up and spilled down her cheeks. "Every night," she whispered, "I say it's the last time, but I always go back." Her mind drifted to the past, back to the days before everything fell apart. There was a time when she was happy, a time when laughter filled her home. Her father worked hard to keep food on the table, and her mother dreamed of sending her to nursing school. But all that ended when her father died suddenly, leaving debts and sorrow behind. Her mother fell ill, and Amara, barely 17, was left alone. With no one to turn to and no money to survive, she met a man who offered her help, food, shelter, and money. At first, it felt like a blessing. Then she learned the cost. The night she sold herself for the first time, she cried until morning. Something inside her broke, and she stopped praying from that day forward. When life took everything, she thought bitterly, I thought selling myself was the only way to survive. Years passed and her heart hardened. The streets became her stage. Fake smiles became her armor. Then one night, something unexpected happened. As she stood at her usual corner, a middle-aged woman stopped and smiled at her. Not the kind of smile men gave her, but one filled with warmth. The woman handed her a small folded pamphlet and said softly, "Jesus still saves." Amara took it, mostly to get the woman to leave, but the smile lingered in her mind long after she walked away. Later, back in her apartment, she pulled out the pamphlet and stared at the words. For some reason, they made her